The morning bell rang, echoing through the crowded high school halls, a metallic clang that barely reached the ears of Jasmine Carter, a 17-year-old girl known for keeping to herself. Her braids bounced as she walked briskly through the corridor, a grey hoodie pulled tight over her head, backpack slung low over her shoulders, headphones in, pretending the world didn't exist outside her own bubble. But the halls were ruthless, and Jasmine had long ago learned that school was a battlefield where even the quiet ones could become targets. Today she would be pushed to the edge. As she passed the lockers near the cafeteria, a group of notorious bullies, 3 boys from her grade, cornered her. Malik, the ringleader, a tall, bulky teen with a smug grin plastered across his face, stepped forward. "Look who it is, the quiet little mouse," he sneered, shoving her shoulder. Jasmine flinched, taking a step back. But Malik's shove was forceful, tipping her off balance. "What's the matter? Can't handle a little push?" He taunted. His friends laughed cruelly, enjoying every second. Jasmine's mind raced, but she kept her calm exterior. She knew showing fear would only fuel their aggression. "Please, just leave me alone," she muttered, her voice soft but firm. That only seemed to infuriate them more. Malik smirked, grabbing her by the hoodie and yanking her close. "Oh, we're not leaving, we're just getting started." His grip tightened around her neck, fingers digging into her throat. Jasmine's vision blurred slightly, panic rising, but beneath the fear, a cold, controlled rage began to simmer. What her attackers didn't know, what nobody at school knew, was that Jasmine wasn't just an ordinary girl. For the past 5 years, she had been training in mixed martial arts, mastering striking, grappling, and submissions under the watchful eye of her uncle, a retired MMA champion. Every punch, every kick, every maneuver had been drilled into her muscle memory until her body reacted instinctively. And instincts were about to take over. Malik's friends circled, laughing and pointing, expecting to see Jasmine crumble. But Jasmine, choking under his grip, felt the surge of adrenaline, her MMA training kicking in. She dropped her weight, shifting her center of gravity, and twisted her wrist sharply, forcing Malik's fingers to loosen just enough. Before he could react, she pivoted, elbowing him in the ribs with a precision strike that made him stagger back. The hall went silent for a split second. Her attackers didn't expect retaliation from the girl they thought was defenseless. Her next move was seamless. Jasmine grabbed Malik's arm, executed a textbook arm drag, and spun him around, sending him crashing against the lockers with a thud that echoed through the hallway. Gasps rippled through the students watching from the sidelines. Malik coughed, winded, completely shocked at the sudden reversal. Jasmine's movements were fluid, fast, almost animalistic. Every strike, every maneuver was precise, an unbroken chain of martial arts, mastery unleashed in an instant. One of Malik's friends lunged at her with a sloppy punch. Jasmine ducked low, grabbed his arm, and twisted it behind his back in a classic MMA joint lock. The boy cried out, dropping to his knees, completely immobilized. The third bully tried to run, but Jasmine was already behind him, sweeping his leg with a perfectly timed kick, sending him sprawling onto the cold linoleum floor. Within moments, the 3 bullies were groaning, pinned, and thoroughly outmatched. Students started murmuring, some filming on their phones. Whispers spread like wildfire. Did she just? Jasmine, breathing heavily but composed, glared down at the fallen bullies. "Let this be a lesson," she said, her voice low and steady. "I don't ask for trouble, but I don't back down either." Then, without another word, she grabbed her bag and walked away, leaving the bullies humiliated, coughing and aching on the floor. That afternoon, the school buzzed with news of what had happened. Rumors swirled, exaggerations multiplied, but one thing was certain: Jasmine Carter was no ordinary girl. But despite the newfound attention, Jasmine didn't feel triumphant. She was cautious. She knew that once her secret was out, she would be a target in ways she hadn't imagined. Still, there was a spark inside her now, a recognition of her own strength, and the knowledge that she could defend herself against anyone. In her bedroom that night, Jasmine removed her braids, her body sore but her spirit alive with a newfound confidence. She stared at herself in the mirror, fingers brushing over faint bruises, forming on her forearms, a reminder of her morning battle. "No one is untouchable," she thought. "But I am prepared." Her phone buzzed with texts from classmates, some in awe, others fearful. She ignored them all. Jasmine knew this was just the beginning. Meanwhile, the bullies were plotting revenge. Malik, humiliated and angry, vowed he would make her pay. He didn't know what he had unleashed. He didn't know that Jasmine Carter was trained to fight, trained to survive, and trained to protect herself. And if he thought he could corner her again, he was in for a rude awakening. The first chapter closes with Jasmine walking alone through the dimly lit streets near her house, headphones on again. Mind replaying every move she made, every strike landed. She felt a mixture of pride, relief, and anticipation. Something inside her had changed. She had discovered not just her physical power, but the psychological edge that comes from owning it. And as the city lights flickered around her, a small smile curved her lips. The world was dangerous, but she was ready. Subscribe now to follow Jasmine's journey, her strength, her courage, and the challenges she will face as she takes on the bullies who underestimated her.